Hello there. Been a while, hasn't it? So everybody knows that problem solving all boils down to a couple of things, like the ability to stack things. Go ahead, give me a problem in life that can't be solved by fat stacks. Can't be done. So today's shrines are all about stacking.
Disclaimer, this game is very broken, and because of that, Impractical Shrine Solutions and Softlocks leaves all items outside of the shrine except for what is actively attached to link upon entry. Also, no major glitches. We're doing stupid things here. We're not trying to skip shrines.
The first shrine for today is... bless me. At first glance, this shrine looks like a piece of cake. I mean, maybe, but not any cake I've seen or eaten. Just yank out the bottom pieces and snatch Terry out of the air. Done. That's not the intended method, but it's the one that was recorded. Wow, literally months ago. Door even stays open, so getting Terry to the end isn't going to be an issue. But this whole shrine is just this one room, the whole Jenga stack. And getting Terry down is, well, very easy. But there's one thing that this shrine doesn't want you to do, and you're going to do it. Getting close to the Jenga stack causes the floor to fall out below you, and below the Jenga stack. That's probably a little bit more important than falling out underneath you. Fun fact though, the trigger that drops out the floor doesn't go all the way to the ceiling. Why would it? Also, why wouldn't it? Using a recall elevator to get up high shows this. And you know what that means, or you don't. Regardless, it means you're extracting that Terry from atop the Jenga stack itself. Now, saving Terry from behind enemy lines is not as straightforward as it seems. Because it seems straightforward apparently, as placing something on top of the stack tips the stack over. So if you're going to pull it off, you've got to be high enough in order to get pegs on top of the stack, to be fast enough to ensure that the stack stays balanced, and close enough so you can hop on and then deliver Terry to safety. Also, you got to be good at Jenga, and this is not good at Jenga. For the main stack, you're going to need 4 pegs for balance and height, 2 pegs to balance on the stack itself to ensure that it's high enough to avoid the purge, and 1 for some recall action to get on top of the hammer. This Jenga stack has a total of 15 pegs to work with. The 2 sets at the top need to stay at the top in order to keep things from just spaghettiing everywhere. Below that are 5 sets of pegs, meaning we have to leave at least 1 on each set of pegs. And that is 15 minus 4 minus 5 is 7. The number we need. Wait, no it's not. That's not how math works. Maybe I forgot how many were here or something. I don't know. We'll fix it in post. It's just a matter of masterfully pulling each piece out one at a time and ensuring at least 1 peg stays in the middle at all times. Or using rewind on the next level's peg and then just rapidly pulling everything out and slapping one right in the middle. You know, whichever tickles your boat. Now it's possible that one of these pieces, usually from the 3rd or 4th level, will fall into the back and land at the bottom and be completely out of reach. But don't worry about it. Build a janky hammer, walk down, and snatch it right out. After obtaining all 7-ish pieces, build a whatever this thing is. Mark 1/2, it doesn't matter, we'll never see it again. Don't patent it. This thing jets out just high enough over the gap to be able to reach the top of the tower with Ultra Hand. Slap on 2 pegs to the corners of the top block while it's being rewound, preferably across from each other, otherwise it's just gonna tip over. Also, if you happen to place it too high, you can't grab the Terry. At least now you get to play more Jenga. You know how much you love doing that. The last part is jumping on a Terron's tower here for that Jenga unhammered. Mark. Beep. Jenga unhammered. Mark 1. Patent it. To get to the top of this, you just need to use a recall of it. I'm sorry, what in Ravio's name was that? Clipping through an object? That sounds like a major glitch. The most major of glitches. Straight into a volcano with you. Who hired that guy? I want them, and whoever trained them, also thrown in the volcano and fired. In that order. Out of a cannon if you got one. Anywho, after you're up top, from cheating, hop down onto the tower, grab Terry, and free him. Done. As for the soft lock, you know what? After this whole mess, no soft lock. Whole shrine's going in a volcano. Up next is, hey, what you doing tonight? Oh, shows, and you? We can do better than that, but we're not gonna. This spacious 2-room shrine has no bathroom, but plenty of room for activities. The intended solution here is to rocket some targets into these trees. That's backwards. Trees into the targets, but rockets require weapons to activate and we don't bring those in, unless we do the whole shrine and didn't realize we had something on. It's happened more than once. Now there are plenty of ways to push that button. Rewind the stick into it, rewind the stick rocket into it, but pushing it without the block, that's what separates us from the kangaroos over on 33rd Street. Using the tree to give initial balance, it is actually possible to walk up the slidey Susan here. Unfortunately, throwing doesn't do much from here because there's zero time to set up a good angle. And even if you could get the angle, it doesn't apply enough force to actually push the target, as demonstrated by just doing that from the block. More importantly though, you could stand on the tree to set up a rewind up to the button, ride it on up to put the rocket on the target, and then do the same thing with a tree pillar, but riding it up to glory, and then getting on top of the target. Them kangaroos wish they had our ingenuity. At some point in the past, I mentioned how Rewind's movement is virtually absolute, and because of this we can set up a good old-fashioned I'm not hitting you from grade school. Rotating the tree so it comes real close to the target without hitting it, and then the last second while it's rewinding, attaching a rocket for a surprise middle school style cheap shot to the gut. The second room's wheel, obviously nothing original, so just get up there and do it again. This time, requiring a little hooky magic. That's actually it, using the hook to gain height and put the rockets, plural this time, up top. Then trying over and over again to get up there. Running and jumping to get the right amount of force to reach the target, ultimately realizing that the only thing that really mattered was instead of doing all of that, jump near the apex of the hook lift and just go to the side. Look, here we work smarter, not smarter. And sometimes, by sometimes I mean usually, we commit to doing something stupid, and that stupid ends up making things worse and worse. Probably in a good way though. Anywho, do the old rocket attache McRotate to push the button, and then take everything to the end, because that's the thing we do here. We can't be wasteful. These things cost a lot of money. A lot of it. And time is money. And money is power. And chicks dig power. I have no idea what I'm getting at, but I think if we charge money with electricity, we get time travel? There is a doable softlock here, and it's where the stack is at. Did mention all of these were stack related? Don't worry, I got you. Like mini shrines, it consists of putting everything out of reach, because one item plus rewind and ultra hand is completely broken. Everything inside of the first room is accessible at all times, so the second room is our only choice. Attach everything and stick it up on top of the target and jump down. And oh man, how does this keep happening? Oh, it's so unfortunate. Maybe someday we won't have to make that joke so much, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. A sin can get you pretty close to it, but not close enough to reach the stack. And the Master Sword beams, they don't reach it either. For those thinking, well actually, you have the Master Sword skill. And today's shrines are brought to you by ToCactusShop.com, peasant merch at peasant prices. Look, Sir Hamilton still hasn't come back from vacation. We have no idea where he is. Up next is Tadarok. Nailed it. The intended solution here? Fire and ice. And rocks. Mostly blocks though. While you can just shove the electrical current ball things here to the side, the block being here indicates that it does serve a purpose. There's a lesson to be learned here, and that is that stone does not conduct electricity. Oh no. More block shrines lessons. Ice in lava makes burned, never fresh patties. Water puts out fire. Shocker, I know. Stack all your friends up to coincidentally the exact height of the solution and just Ouija yourself right up. Now, that's cool and all, if you're a square. But if you're a hexacontacainagon, you're gonna need something a little stronger. Because you are likely hired to retile this entire shrine and turn it into an Ednews. Obviously, because that stone block is so important, just take it and don't do anything with it. Maybe clasp those electric balls together and swim across. Those aren't Terry's, by the way. Or rewind climb onto the block and jump over. Rewump, if you will. I know I will. Grab the ice, throw it in the lava, and jump across before it melts, and oh man, he really thought it was gonna work. Classic. Now, if you've ever had a fresh, never frozen burger from Wendy's, by Hasbro, by Ravio, then you can understand why Rauru needs you to take these burnt patties here and open up an Ednews. Completely different in every possible way. Throw the ice in, get the floor tile patties, tile the whole floor, rinse, and repeat over and over again until the entire floor is covered in... Yeah, there's obviously a limit on these burned Sammy slabs. It's 64, not enough to retile the floor, but more than enough to test one's sanity with the fattest of stacks. Fun fact, if you didn't know, you can climb on these. Why not? It makes more sense than some of the things Link can climb on. Stack them all up into a mega burger, like that one from that other place that we're definitely not ripping off. Why does that exist? Look, in my youth, I enjoyed a good jumbo burger. Those patties are 4 ounces each, so the whole thing is like, 36 ounces? A little over 2 pounds? Most I've ever had was a 3-pounder. But the 3-pounder I had did it right. It was wide, like a plate, not tall. Because if you're building your burgers and you're going vertically, you're making a shish kebab. Stop. What was I talking about? You were stacking the whole time, right? Good. Don't forget the wooden box too. Obviously, it's gonna be a take everything to the end shrine. Mix and match your blocky boys and your patty ladders. Patty ladder? That was fun to say. Patty ladder. This is all to get the blocks up, and then rewind drain them. Keep unloading all the patties from the truck. This will, and should take literally forever. 3-pound burger I ate, by the way, it was at some sit-down bar food type place. Haven't been back because their food was not great. 3-pound burger wasn't too bad. It was a finish it in 30 minutes and it's free kind of thing. Finished it, but not in 30 minutes. I blame the fries. I had to finish the fries too. Rewind the final block and look at all your hard work. It paid off. Every single thing that could possibly be in this shrine right now is up top. 10 out of 10 would cardiac rest again. Now, if you want to know what the soft lock is here, just jump down. That's it. Nothing to rewind, nothing to fly on. Also, no burned, never fresh patties to eat. That's upsetting. Bonus shrine! And it's a doozy. It's Sonapan. That's what you cook sodas in, right? Now this place was designed pretty badly. Obviously, someone forgot to deliver the necessary blocks to stack to get up there. There's even a little convenient slots on the side where you could put your staircase. But using cutting-edge blockchain big data buzzwords technology, we can simulate what it would look like to pass through that overhead and just elevate into the platform. Looks like cheating to me, but luckily there's this decorative little slant here, and with your completely normal shield. That's not a joke to make it sound like it's actually magic. It's actually a completely normal Hylian shield, and preferencing it like that, no one's gonna believe me. But with said shield, and a very annoying jump, it is possible to shield flip and land up top. I said land up top. I'm glad I'm not gambling on these, because I definitely would have lost by now. I don't think he's gonna make it up anytime soon, so let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the shrine, cause it's not great. Take a look, it's the same idea over and over, and not even that different. Block, cheat. Block, cheat. And the 2 blocks that are here are separated by a doorway smaller than the blocks. Someone really dropped the ball here, or block here. Obviously, the correct way up is to use like 40 blocks and build a giant staircase. Oh hey, made it up. But he's still gotta climb up to the door though, so... Well, he's still gotta make the jump again, so... In order to solve this shrine impractically, we need to talk about quantum mechanics. Wait, no, quantum game mechanics. Quantum shrines! You see, to build the staircasiest stack of all time, we need to utilize fuse entanglement.
Excuse me, isn't that a glitch?
No, it's shrines, now get out. Now, in earlier versions of the kingdom, like 1.1.2, which is what the cactuses in the lab are using, cacti in the lab, I've done that take 8 times and I've said it wrong every time and I'm done doing it. It's possible to interrupt the fuse process by holding the ability wheel button and fusing just before the menu pops open, which you can then switch to shields and then switch off the shield you were fusing to, like over to nothing. And then the object poops down onto the ground on top of you. And this allows us to pull things through doors. Normally, it's not too helpful to do it this way, but it stopped existing for just a moment. And in shrines, when an object that is needed to complete the shrine is fused and or destroyed, it respawns. So that's pretty cool. But these objects aren't just different blocks, they're the same block. Probably. And some fun things with these objects that are probably maybe kinda sorta the same thing, because objects that are the same cannot collide with themselves. I mean, why would an object collide with itself? Go on, give it a try. Just give yourself a good slap in the face. That is not quantum mechanics. That's the sound of one hand clapping. But these are merely the same object existing at multiple points in time and space. Or something. I have no idea. I'm just making this up as I go along. Sounds convincing though. Now, you can't build a fat stack with one object. They don't collide with themselves, but this shrine has 2 blocks to work with. 2 whole blocks. And we can entangle, superposition, quantum magic the crap out of these. And if we alternate them, they stack. Because they have to alternate and they all look the same, well, we're gonna have to separate them so that we know who's who. We got the lefty rights on the inside and the uppy downs from the outside, like the sneeches with stars, and those who had none upon bars. Just entangle up like 20 of each block, very slowly through the door, one at a time. Now, only the quote-unquote real block can be split off like this. The universe doesn't keep track of the clones because they've already been destroyed, technically, at least when it comes to respawning them. So, one at a time and don't lose track. You want to go insane? That's how you go insane. But now that we've got them sorted out, we can alternate the lefty rights and the uppy downs to build a stack. Gonna need like an 8 stack or something to reach the top. I don't know, math and geometry or something. Luckily, running out of lefty rights is an easy fix. You just clone up a new one and then pull it through the lefty... Wait, that one's not a lefty right? Were these not the lefty rights in the first place? Were these actually uppy downs? Did some of them flip at some point? Were these not the sneeches on the beaches with stars upon thars? Dr. Seuss tried to warn us about this anomaly. It must be sorted out. We must know what is what, who is who, when is where, and why is... Alright, we rolled back the simulation to before after everyone and everything went insane and or collapsed in on itself. Oh yeah, switch to simulations instead of paying these multiverse bunny guys to solve shrines for us. Or we're just looking into other universes, I don't know anymore. But it's way cheaper, and that's the important part. Just spin up a universe, do a shrine, and tear it down like it never happened. Shrines! Anywho, to be safe, just bring them through and then test each block against the last one until one of them collides, because I certainly don't know which sneeches had stars upon thars at the beginning of this. Build the stack, climb the stack, build the stack, lose track of the real block for a little while, watch the final tower crumble, and for that very last slanted block, oh yeah, we use slanted blocks to climb up because they're like, it's kind of like what's the word? Ramp. That's it. Recalibrator up, hop onto this conveniently located platform, grab it, stack it, hop down, climb up, and get out before all is lost. And that is how you solve a shrine impractically that doesn't really have anything in it at all. Introduce a problem you didn't know you even had and also didn't have. And this is why we don't use glitches unless it makes the shrine more impractical without just being arbitrarily difficult, like no runes or something. Turned a 10-minute no ascend shrine into a 3-hour stacky magic shrine. Fat stacks solves everything. Oh right, the soft lock. Second block unreachable, etc, no items, blah blah blah. Whatever, I'm back, baby! Whenever I say that, put Bender up from Futurama.